All right, the boys are back. T1 versus Pain Gaming. And somehow this draft, T1 looks even a little more unhinged. They like, it felt like the shackles came off the moment they went 0-1 here. And it could be because Pain Gaming's quite the let's call it dynamic drafting team, very stylistic. You know how it is with LATAM. Sometimes they're very themselves when they draft it. They have their own styles, very aggressive and things like that. And T1 kind of channeled a little bit of that aggression with themselves, and I think they reverted back to a style where they managed to allow Faker to pick really early, give him a lot of draft resources. Sorry, pass on a lot of draft resources to the boys, and then kind of just understand what defined their style. And they essentially just push for the fabled 3 winning lanes. And this is a team that, as long as they get that sort of condition, they basically know what to do, right? And that's basically what was the surrounding sort of draft preparation, let's say. So if you pay close attention to the bans, these are all champions that like force a weak side-ish matchup on the side of T1 if Pain Gaming were to ever pick any of these up. And then, of course, a Skarner priority ban because they're trying to open something else. In this case, it is the Yone for Faker. And, of course, a decent response these days is to run the Akali into the Yone, which is actually fine because I would argue the Yone is more flexible than the Akali in this case. So not only is it like, yeah, your lane is slightly worse, but then your like stylistically your comp might be a little bit better, right? And now T1 opt for a slightly different prepared pick into the Sejuani, which is the Vi. And I think it's totally doable. It's like a similar, it's like slower pacing, but it guarantees better engage. It also fares really well into the Akali itself, get that guaranteed lockdown. So I really like that. And then T1 end up taking the basically next highest priority top laner in the Rumble. I don't usually see Zeus play a lot of Renekton, so I think he's just not that kind of player. And then Pain actually slammed Olaf top R3. So it's basically like Jax is gone, but we have the next best thing, and it's kind of wild because now it's like Pain basically revealed their hand really early on, and it's on T1 to basically adapt only their bottom lane picks to really think what they can do to answer this. And they actually make clever use of the R4 to actually guarantee this as well. And when you think about a forward comp like the one Pain has, one option is to let's draft backwards, guys. Let's let's minimize the damage that it can do. Sure, that's one option. The other one is actually to just say, yeah, fuck you guys. I'm just gonna. How about we just beat you? And that's basically what they went for, right? It's not a bad idea, by the way, on going Olaf on 3. It is possible that T1. It may or may not have been possible that T1 do ban it on second phase afterwards, but Pain Gaming opted to take the risk. They could have went Ashe on 3, and I think that would have been pretty disgusting, to be honest with you. And then they ban all the 80 carries, and it's really hard for them to play. But I digress. Pain go for the Kalista, and they actually take the Draven Renata. So not only do they get the counter pick, they also take the combo. It's like an instant slam. Grand slam right here. This is the fumble. Shut up, Google. My fault. My assistant procced. So basically Draven Renata into the Kalista, and now basically Pain Gaming just checkmate themselves here, right? T1 just it's like so easy for them at this point, right? Pain Gaming, they were a little bit messy with this draft. They go the Nico into the Renata, which is not bad, but you basically are asking them to go the Renata, and that's just kind of what the name of the game is when you opt into your only draft options so early on. It's like T1 kind of just like, well, we just know what you're going to play now, so it's just a matter of picking the favorable matchups and taking taking the right tools for the job, essentially, right? The Renata is probably one of the best champions here in order to both combo with the laning phase, but also curb what the Pain Gaming comp rather has to bring to the table. So it's a very forward comp, except for the Nico, which is, I would say, relatively homeless as a support. It's a decent pick into the Renata in lane, and you can do your best. And with Kalista, the Nico can play a little more psychopathic and get bailed out and whatnot. But I do think overall, this is a very solid, very clean T1 draft this time because of they swapped around their priorities. They allowed themselves a lot of leverage for later on, and then they actually tapped into their champion pools as necessary. So really, really clean from them. And yeah, I think I look forward to the remaining games I think they got BLG tomorrow, so this is going to be a very big test for them, and it's going to be the next test as to whether or not they have their draft priorities straight on. So really hoping, you know, their draft philosophies and their unique picks can be tapped in here. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.